Okay. Um, you know, I make videos to record everything that's happening to me before the day comes that I'm not able to. And I'm not trying to be like sad about it or anything. I'm just actually thankful that I had the chance to get the opportunity to make recording of what's happening to me, and at least have the chance to see the obviousness and the and see these bottom feeders for what they are. Trash the government contract to do these whole horrible things onto us, and never fall into this psyop and this nonsensicalness and this stupidity and the manipulations of how we are forced to think and and process this retardation. We are target individual, and a lot of us not only get this gang stalking aspect of things where everything around you is meant to kind of disturb you, agitate you, but we also have a lot of the V2K and synthetic telepathy that you hear about. That's when things become worse in a sense that you no longer are thinking the way you think if you were yourself. You are slowly being mentally broken down, utilizing this technology that can literally overlay thoughts, rationality, false memories, reactions, stimulations, all, and you can do nothing about it. You know it's not you, but you're experiencing these new reactions that are forced onto you because this technology somehow has the capability to overlay your brain. It is truly the closest things to, if not, it is controlling your mind in ways that are so disturbing. And of course, for us, it's not in the positive ways. It's meant to disturb us, to break us down. And you have people who are contracted by these governmental entities to continuously try to get you to agitate and gaslight you with these manipulations. So they get you to experience manipulations that are falsified, and then there's people around you who are going to make noise campaign, who gonna try to create some distraction, disorientation, in order for you to accept these false manipulations. It's like they work together. There is the aspect of these perps who are just go through the scripts and things to say to disorient you, to change subjects after some manipulation has been implemented in regard of your thoughts and ways of thinking, and they work together this way. And the perps are obviously not really the necessary, but I can see why it is helpful to have them because they disorient you. They kind of try to agitate you and change. Like you recognize this manipulation, and it's either they kind of try to be like, "Oh my gosh, look at this," or they when they create these false narrations and rationality, these retardations, then they're like, "Oh, we proved it," and start making those campaign. They try to agitate you, and they use these losers. They use this. I mean, no, everybody can participate. It seems like even these perps obviously have this technology guiding them into what they need to do, right? I see childlike individuals, or actually babies, saying things that is they know what to say. It's obviously that they are also connected with these devices and they are able to say what needs to be said. It seems like some kind of they are, this program not only manipulates us target individuals, but the perps are also guided to do what they need to do. It seems like there's these two things connected because you see who's doing this, you see who's talking to you, you see it's like, oh my gosh. Some of them are like actually babies, and then obviously this if babies can be doing it, adults, whatever can do that. So you understand that it is a program that is meant to break you down into accepting these disgusting things. It is a program that is meant to make you accept these manipulations that you experience. And as a target individual, I'm thankful that I had the chance to at least see it for what it is. Whatever's going to happen next, it's whatever. I got the chance to see that, and that's all I've been asking. I've been praying when I pray that God give me the strength to see things for what they are, not this manipulation and nonsensicalness. And they manipulate me, of course. They do these nasty things where they force me to get sexual stimulations toward children, and it's so foul, especially when they do that toward the babies. And then they usually like to say, that's you when you were a child, That's try to, it's like, no, you are making me experience things I will not naturally have experience, but that's the case. And then they try to find ways to make me be valid, like try to validate their manipulations, as if like I'm not recognizing for what it is. Right now there's been this back and forth which they done it before, and I don't know if I talked about it before. So they look for, because they make you experience these things that naturally you will never experience that, right? And so you, I've been saying that 1,000 times, and I'm going to continuously say that every time I look at children of all ages, from the babies to the older kids, even people who look like they could actually be children, but they're not children because they're like very young adults. They do the stimulations. I recognize the falsification of those stimulations. And so what they then do is like find ways to manipulate memories or change memories or create narrative of memories and try to find ways to paint this picture to make me believe that this manipulation is not happening. It's happening because they've mapped it, and they like to send childlike individuals who they like to have these childlike individuals interact with me because they're the one who have less self-respect. Like they would be like, oh no, we proved it, we'll do this, and they try to disorient me. For example, somebody just say you molest, right? I know that they molest children using this technology, right? I know that they sexually torture children. I'm talking about 3-year-old kids, right? But they send these childlike individuals to disorient me, to say something in order to stop me from saying these things. And these childlike individuals would come and be like, no, we analyzed it, we mapped it, and with me, when they interact with me, they're using this tonality as if that changed reality. They're truly are childlike individuals. And they know I'm going to recognize why you're speaking this way. It's like a kid who is being humiliated. It's like, no, mom, no, it's not true. I did my homework. It's the homework was done yesterday, but I did it today. Things like that. It's like children. Now, the bad things are going to happen to me because they've been humiliated by reality. These people have been humiliated by the reality of what they do. They are renowned to do this pedophilia type of torture. They are renowned to force you to get stimulations. They renowned to do all these horrible things. And to validate themselves, they're like, we're going to frame you. Yes, people who do what you do would be part of what they do. Yes. This is what people trash like you do. You never hear somebody who's like, oh, I'm a brave person, I'm going to frame you. No. Trash that do what they do will do all the foul things. And you hear them for that. No matter what of the tonality of this calm tonality they try to use. They're trash. I can't even say the name of a pedophile. So for me, they were creating these storylines in my brain. I remember before I came to New York, I used to go to work. And my stop was by this UIC, University of Illinois City. Huge college, huge. It was right next to where I used to work. They literally had a stop called UIC Halstead by my work, maybe 10-minute walk to my place, right? So all this, there was like campus things around. Like there was like different building around this, and when I would take the train, there would be a rush of like college students. Right? And this whole area filled with just students. When I take the train, that's like a place where there's a bunch of like people, students going from that school. And so college, young adult people. I'm in a train. I'm sitting there, and I'm seeing across me somebody, some college student is just like acting weird. She's like shaking. Like it's like something about her is just, she's not comfortable. It seems like she might have some issues in a private area, right? I'm sorry, but it looked like she just like moving around, right? And she was like shaking, like her private area was like uncomfortable. So I look at her. You see how they try to manipulate me? I look at her and I'm like, hey, do you want to sit down? And she's like a typical, how can I, like white student, college student, and you understand they have this like thing about like being woke. Even though she was uncomfortable, I think because I was a black guy asking her if she wanted to take my seat, she's like, no, it's your seat. No, and she became like super like like she wanted to be so PC, right? She saw me, a somebody in a black person, a minority, asking her to sit down, and her being a young adult woman, who felt uncomfortable because why her, who's a healthy young adult woman, would let me, a black man, like, and she kind of started thinking that way. I could see her like processing that. No, 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 it's your seat. Sit there. You sit there, right? And it's funny, when I left, I could see, when I turned back, I see her. She sat down. She felt like so relieved. So I'm like, all along she wanted to sit, but because of this, she didn't want to. She didn't want things to look certain ways. Now, in my mind, they're trying to make me think, because they're like, oh, you thought that her body was like something like that's like, whatever she looked like. What I noticed about her is she was super itchy. She was like uncomfortable, and she was not really like, if she was like, I'll be like, okay, wow, but she's, and another wow they try to create, I'll be like, this, she's not bad looking, but she's not. She was normal, but she was, they try to say, but you recognize that she's a little bit voluptuous, or whatever they can try to create. I'm like, regardless, I don't care. What I really truly recognize is just how she was so itchy, right? And how uncomfortable she was. She was just kind of, I don't want to say it, but she looked like maybe she had some kind of yeast infection issue. And you can see she wasn't comfortable standing up. And so now they're like, no, how old is she? It's like, obviously she's a college student. Obviously, even when you interact with her, you realize that she's like typical college student. But because she has a backpack, it's like, no, maybe there was like some high schoolers going around. I was like, listen, this whole area, is filled with college students. It's like a huge campus of like this UIC, huge campus. There's literally even a stop named UIC Hosted. This whole area is filled. But like, no, maybe she's one of the few that comes from like maybe a night of, to try to make me imagine her to be like a high school student, but when obviously is a college student from UIC. This literally like stops, the stop right before mine is UIC. UIC Austin, even the stop, there's this literally building specific to UIC. This whole area I was in is meant for college students. And they were trying to say, no, maybe she came in the other stop. Like, so desperate to try to create these storylines. To try to get you to be like subscriptive. These people are, gaslighting is the tactic of, even if they see, like, oh, here, they approves, they're like, no, that's false. That's what they're supposed to do. But the people doing this thing to me are people that I don't even respect. To me, they just fill up this unrespected feeling toward them. For me, when I hear them talk, I already have a place of this kind of people that I will never respect. I will never be influenced by these people. So when they add to this, it's like, you see, I don't mind you doing these retardations because I already see you in these ways. These people are delusional. Creating stories coming from people that I don't fucking respect in the first place. The way they walk is like, listen, all those horrible things are going to happen to me because I was put in this program. But the employer who donated money to a pedophile that was picking up kids at the YMCA, you are here coming up with stories. Me asking somebody who looked like she's uncomfortable because she probably has some kind of yeast infection or some kind of, I'm sorry for the language, but it seemed like something, and a place where a whole college, university surrounds this place. This person with a backpack, by the way, a huge backpack where you can see textbook, and then it's like, obviously this person, and when you interact with her, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so obvious, like you're a typical like college student. And so try to create a storyline based on her, while they came and said the name of a pedophile that picked up kids at the YMCA. And you hear this trash, who of course they're gonna feel like winners because there's no losing here. How? You cannot, I think if they need a break from reality, it's easy for them to join this program and do these things to people, because these people, like us, we can't do nothing about it. So let you feel special. Come in, yeah, do this. You see, you're gonna love it so much because there's no way this technology overrides a man's rationality, a woman's logic, and make them think in these retarded ways, and then you're just gonna come in and use this tonality. They are disprove. Then go into whatever things you try to say. While you're in a program that's literally zapping the genitals of a children. These trash are low life, weak shit. Now my death. Whenever it comes, all I'm asking is, God, give me strength. Thank you for what you already shown me. You showed me how humiliating life could be, and now I even know it. Me, the humiliation I'm going to experience are based on torture. I'm going to be tortured, and I'm going to ask God, give me strength for whatever I'm going through, because this theater of torture I'm going to go through is people who've been humiliated, who are doing their best to try to counter the reality of what they're part of. Whatever things happens to me, I truly thank God for these blessings, because I could be living like this trash. I could be living my limited life, which is limited. We're all going to die. Some of them died before I died. Some of them died while watching me die. And they are here coming up with these nasty things. So living day in and day out to see what can they come up together to paint this falsified narrative, to start making him think this illogical ways, and to make him accept this manipulation. We force him to experience every time he looks at children. To try to manipulate him to be something he's not. He recognized that as being falsified. But there's nothing he can do about it. Because he's a civilian, we are contracted trash by these governmental entities that have limitless resources, financial aspect, and we can do so much to this brain, to his mind, because this technology is that sophisticated. And we do whatever we do, but we do the same things we've done to others. So obviously he will have validation, but it's not going to stop anything. And that's that. And whatever torture it is, this is the easy part. We didn't need all these millions of dollars for that. We can just say, like, there will be no point, that I will let them escape. They'll see this thing for what it is. Now, my torture is not going to change that reality. I'm talking to people who can't say the name of a pedophile. So you understand, the people who killed me are not here. They're closer to the UIC. They in the Midwest. Well, this trash can yell everything they want, but they can't say Rolling Moore. You understand? That's power. That's winning. I say these names in the courtroom. Just a person starts sweating. That is power, and you know who's running the show. So target and vigil, stay strong. Find yourself lucky, blessed. Yes, we're gonna live a sufferance life, but I'm telling you, sufferance is not unique to target individuals. Our sufferance has a little this dignity in our sufferance. As humiliated, they're gonna try to make us experience things. There is dignity in our death, in our sufferance. This trash, I live in comfort, wearing the sweatpants and losers beyond levels. Can't even say the name of a pedophile that here coming up with story. No, but this college student looked like she had a yeast infection. Let's try. They are pathetic, but that's the life they need to live, because to be the winners that they have to be pathetic. To all my target individuals, stay strong, and know that justice will be done for the nasty things they do to us, and for the delusionality and reality they paint together in order to block our reality.